Hello everyone, Kyle here. I am going to review the new Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World Rebirth. I was very lucky enough to see this at an early screening. It was one of those Monday early screenings at my local Regal Theater. Shout out to my friend Christina who notified me about this like a day or so before it happened, because I would not have known about this, and I think a lot of other people found out very quickly because it sold out pretty fast. But that being said, I really enjoyed Jurassic World Rebirth. This is a big deal for me because I I'm a fan of the Jurassic Park franchise, like ever since I was a kid, but the last two Jurassic Park movies didn't really, I feel, land for me as much as the other films did. Especially for me, obviously my favorite one is the first Jurassic Park, but then my second favorite Jurassic Park movie is Jurassic World from 2015. That movie means a lot to me. Like, that was a really big summer for me, and whenever I watch it, like, I just feel good because I just think the film that Colin Trevorrow made was just a delightful movie to watch, and basically delivered everything I want from that franchise. And I loved all the characters in it, and Michael Giacchino's score was amazing. But Fallen Kingdom, I think, has some strengths, but I think it is a step down from that Jurassic World. And Jurassic World Dominion, I can't remember if I did a review for that on my channel, but it is legitimately one of the worst films I've seen in theaters, in terms of like blockbuster movies. I feel like the film failed to deliver almost on every front, and almost was misleading because it was kind of marketed as this dinosaurs in the real world movie, and it's just a movie that brings them back to an island and it's focused on locusts. I can't talk about that movie anymore. So Jurassic World Rebirth, I was like, oh man, maybe we'll get a good one. And I was a bit skeptical because they actually rushed this movie into production. Like, this film was announced, I believe, last January, and they originally had David Leitch, a director I'm not the biggest fan of, but he was originally attached to direct the film, and then he left because he said he didn't have enough time to work, plan out the film, in pre-production and such. And that was very worrying because I'm like, if a director's leaving a movie because he says they don't have enough time to make it, how good or bad is this movie going to be? And I really think that when they announced Gareth Edwards to direct the film, I really became even more skeptical because Gareth Edwards is a director that I think is a bit hit and miss. I really loved Monsters that he made, and I liked Rogue One, but Rogue One's hard to say because apparently, the reshoots happened and Tony Gilroy kind of took over, so you don't really know how much of the film is Gareth Edwards. So when it came to his other movies, I wasn't the biggest fan of Godzilla. I did not like the creator, so I didn't know what I was going to get with Jurassic World Rebirth. And sure enough, I think it is one of my favorite Gareth Edwards films that he's made, because I really do think that it delivers in terms of the dinosaurs. The action you're getting to see here is exactly what you want. You get these thrilling sequences of the dinosaurs going after the people, chomping up the people. You get to see different action sequences. They don't all feel the same. One takes place in a river, another one takes place in a boat, another one takes place in a facility or on a cliff. So there were a number of various action sequences in here that I thought were all really creative and really exciting to watch and thrilling, because that's the thing about these movies. They have to be thrilling. And I really think that they delivered in having us on the edge of our seat when the viewer's watching the movie. And also for me, with Jurassic Park movies, I feel like you need characters that you care about in them. Because if you don't have characters that you care about, then you don't really care about the story. And honestly, Dominion, I didn't care about any of the characters in that movie. And this is a thing that was crazy to me because I did like Owen Grady in Jurassic World. I did like Claire in Jurassic World. I did like, Blue and, the families and obviously Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, Ian Malcolm. Like, you like these characters, but I feel like Dominion did nothing to make me care about it. All it was just nostalgia of using these actors and these characters that we love so much. But, they were wearing the same exact clothes from the original movies. Who wears the same exact clothes 30 years later? Like, it didn't make any sense. All that being said, I like the characters in Jurassic World Rebirth. Obviously, it's led by Scarlett Johansson. She plays Zora Bennett. She's like a mercenary that's assigned on this mission to kind of find a way to cure some like heart diseases and such. And she has to work with a scientist played by Jonathan Bailey. And they have to kind of grab dinosaur DNA or something to combine together to make a heart thing. It's a bit of a silly idea, but it's a movie about dinosaurs coming back, and being cloned from like mosquitoes. So it's still, I think, something that you just kind of suspend your disbelief and believe. But the thing is, I think that both Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey work really well off of each other. I think that Rupert Friend, who is kind of like the businessman of the movie, he is, I think, a very unlikable guy. And I think that Mahershala Ali, who comes into this film as Duncan Kincaid, the captain of the ship and such, I thought he really stole the show for me because his character, I don't know, I feel like with Mahershala Ali's performance and the character itself really kind of is one of the emotional centers of the film, and I really liked his performance and I really liked the character. But I think one of the surprising aspects of this movie is something that they've kind of hid from the trailers and the marketing. It's this, like, I don't want to say subplot, but it's like the other half of the ensemble of this film, which is this family that is coincidentally in the water around the time that these other characters are cruising around the water, and they collide. And this family, it's a father, 2 daughters, and his daughter's boyfriend. And I just found them to be a very likable family that I found weren't annoying, because sometimes when you get characters that are introduced either later in the film or they're like not the main like ensemble characters, they begin to become grating and you don't care about them. But these ones I thought were all likable. The daughter's boyfriend actually is a pretty fun character, and he has some of the best laughs in the movie. And I really felt for this family, and I felt connected to this family. And they obviously have a little girl, because in Jurassic Park you kind of need a child in these movies, and she's great. And I think that for also like a child actor, she's really good. So it's just, I think the movie itself, there are some great thrills, there are some great scares. The action sequences are superb. The cinematography is amazing. Like, the film was shot on film, and like some of these shots of the sunsets and the flares are just really striking. I will say that Alexander Desplat's score is quite good in this. I will also say I prefer Michael Giacchino's score from the other Jurassic World movies. I will say, as much as we criticize the last trilogy of Jurassic World movies, I think Michael Giacchino's score is by far the best part of those movies. And I kind of missed it here. Like, don't get me wrong, Alexander Desplat's great, but man, like some of Giacchino's work on that last trilogy, oh, chef's kiss, like so good. I will say that what I also like about this movie is it doesn't really rely on the other Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies like I think the last trilogy did, because we're in this new age of, franchises being brought back and, revamped. And I think with this reboot, I thought it was really smart that they kind of kept it more about these characters, about this story, and about introducing this new reboot. And I really appreciated that, because that was one of the problems with the last trilogy. It was always, oh, remember Ian Malcolm? Remember Alan Grant? Remember John Hammond? And I feel like every time they did that, it took away from the main characters of that story. And by the time you got to the final film in the last trilogy, it was like, oh, well, here they are. It's like, no, I want to focus on these guys. And I think that they were able to give these new characters enough time to stand on their own and, take center stage. I will say the movie itself takes a little bit of time to get going. So if you go into it being like, oh, this is a little bit, I don't know, boring, or it's not really working for me, be patient, because once they start getting to the island area of this movie in the waters, that's when it really kicks into high gear. And it felt at times it felt like Aliens, James Cameron's Aliens, and then at other times it kind of felt like King Kong, like Peter Jackson's King Kong. So it really had some exciting things that I hadn't exactly seen from Jurassic Park movies before this. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Jurassic World Rebirth. I think it's a really good entry in the franchise. I would probably put it it's either in my top 3 or top 4 of the franchise. It's hard to say. For me, I got Jurassic Park 1, Jurassic World, then Lost World, but this might be around that area. But I would definitely want to see this again. I recommend anyone seeing this. And if you love dinosaurs, you'll love this, because there's a lot of dinosaurs in this. And there are zero locusts. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and have a great day.